to another episode of Pigskin Isn't Just for Cooking podcast. I'm excited to be here. It's been a long week. I've been working my ass off. It's going to be a good time. This is Adam, commissioned the dish, by the way. I'm here with Evan Forbes, a.k.a. Kissing Cousins. Welcome to the podcast, man.
Night recording. I love it, man. Nice. Little Friday night, this is Friday night.
It is Friday Night Lights.
Friday Night Lights. So hopefully this will get out on Saturday.
Yeah.
So,
plenty of time for people to listen to it before this Sunday kicks off.
Mm-hmm. You missed a Thursday game, but I wouldn't really say you missed it.
Ooh.
Terrible. We got to fix these Thursdays game.
Yeah.
Not good.
Amazon drew the short straw.
You know what I hate most about these Thursday games with
Jeff
Amazon?
Bezos.
What's that? I mean, just in general, yeah. I don't like how they do the first and 10 graphics on the field with Amazon, those stupid Amazon arrows. Have you noticed that?
I really don't like Amazon. It's very phallic to me.
Sure. Classic Jeff Bezos, though, right? I mean, classic overcompensation.
It's supposed to be like a crooked smile. It looks like a dick.
That's that whole stupid A to Z, right? It's the arrow from Amazon. It's the arrow from A to Z, right?
Is that what that means? I thought it was just like a...
Have you not seen that?
No.
Yeah, so underneath the Amazon word, it's got the arrow and it starts at A and it goes to Z, pointing to Z. That's literally
what it really stands for? Yes. I had no idea.
Yes.
I thought it was some like wry smile, like, we got your package.
Give us your money.
But I'm just like, it looks like a dick.
So does he. I mean...
Gosh, I learned something today. I love it.
Yeah, there you go. So Thursday night games, yuck. But we're not talking about Thursday night games yet.
No, well, we're not, but we're going to be talking about week 5. But before that, we have some corrections.
Yeah, we do.
Oops.
Oops?
Oops, like that's the best job you've ever done, oops, right?
Please tell me you did not just make a mistake.
Well, half of one.
I will credit Johnny for correcting me in the comments. Tom Brady is not, I don't even know what I said, 43 or something.
I think you said 43.
Well, it's funny. I was like, what did I say?
Well, what is he, like 43?
Right. And it's like, I should go back and listen to see what I said. It's like, no, if I think I said 43, I probably said 43. It's me. Like, I know what I would think. Yeah. So, but yeah, he's 45. And then I was talking about Cordell Patterson, how he was going down for the Falcons. I mentioned he went down on the Falcons. And then later on, as I was talking about it, I said that was tough for the Cardinals. But it's not. It's a different bird. It's Falcons.
Oh, yeah. But birds of a feather flock together.
So. Right, exactly.
Yeah.
You know.
Cardinals, Falcons.
Yeah. So little corrections. I'm not too busted up over it.
Yeah. We did good.
Yeah. Oh, that's it. That's all I got for corrections.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That's it. Gotcha.
That's done.
We got a fun segment for you guys today. We're going to be talking about week 5. We're going to start off with the news and...
Yeah, a little news.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
Who will the Patriots' #1 receiver be this weekend? My brothers are fantasy warriors. We share our knowledge with one another. Whatever my brother knows, I know. And all of their knowledge will be mine. I'm gonna crush you guys this week.
Fucking crushing guys.
Yeah, crush it.
Let's get it. I don't even want to... I'm sorry, I'm thinking about last week's fantasy football, which we will get into.
Oh, yeah.
But news, yes. Rashad Penny. Broken fibula, out for the season.
Tough,
man. Coming off a great game the game before.
Yeah.
I bet you were just mouth watering, like, I got a new running back to play.
Exactly, because here's what's funny is my running back core hasn't been very strong, and I've my app that I use that grades my team has been telling me that since the beginning of the season, like, hey, your wide receivers are fine, your flex is fine because my 2 quarterbacks I have are really good for my flex or my super flex position.
Yeah. But
now, with the course of 2 weeks, it went completely opposite, right? My wide receiver core is not that great, and now I have a few really good running backs. Damian Pierce was working his way up. And then obviously Rashad Penny helped me win the game last week against Johnny. Tough stuff.
The week before?
The week before, yeah. Not week 4, yeah.
Yeah.
That was a pretty big hit. I'm not, it's not terrifying for my season because I was half expecting him to blow up at some point just because of what he did off the end of last season.
Right.
But you got some new, you got Walker in there. Right, and Kenneth Walker.
Yes.
Yeah. So you got Walker in there. So you've got some other threats, but like you said, after that one game, I'm like, ooh, yes.
Right.
Almost
he blew up. He had a 50-yard run, I believe, at the end of that game.
Yeah. That was one of his very last runs was that huge.
Right. You're just like, whoa, where did that come from?
Right.
Where's that been? You know?
So yeah, that is a bit of a bummer.
You know, that had to have been exciting.
Yeah.
To see, and man, that is
Broken
tough.
fibula. Done for the year.
I bet that hurt.
Yeah, it's like one of the hardest bones in your body, second, third hardest, something like that. Densest. I don't know. It's a tough bone to break. I know that.
Yeah, that had to hurt.
Rough stuff.
Moving on from that, news from the Thursday night game. Devontae Adams charged with a misdemeanor assault, and still no judgment from the NFL yet. But I believe that is on the way.
Yeah, it has to happen. That wasn't the Thursday night game. That was the
is it not?
Sunday night game?
Monday night game.
The Monday night.
My bad.
Yeah.
Corrected.
Yeah, you can't do that.
No. And I was watching it too. I saw it live, not live, but on live television.
Right.
I saw it happen. I'm like, oh, dang.
No, I think you're right. I think that was a Thursday night game. I think you are right. That was because Monday night was the game that you lost to Dan. That was the Monday night game.
Which was Josh Jacobs. I lost to Josh Jacobs.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Okay, so it was Monday night. Okay, that's right.
Yes.
That's right. Yeah, you can't do that.
No.
You can't push a camera guy like
that. Bang your helmet, break tablets, all you want, but
especially when you're in a away,
just shoving over little dudes.
Right, especially when you're playing an away game. Like those cameramen are not from Vegas. Those cameramen are KC cameramen, and they will press charges if they, you know what I mean? Like they're not your, you know what I mean?
Dirty Zuri's about to press charges.
Right. Right. If they're in Vegas, a Vegas cameraman, hey, you could, maybe work something out. Okay, sorry, blah blah. But yeah, an opposing team cameraman, you can't do that.
Yeah, and it was on his sideline, so it could have been one of his own cameramen.
Well, I think what I read, the guy is from KC.
Okay.
So I think I don't know how it works, but I assume all their local network channels and all that kind of stuff, they get to go in there.
Yeah. They get somebody.
But yeah, that's tough. That's tough for the Raiders.
I get he was pissed, but I mean, I would be. Mad at the wide receiver who ran into him. Go shove him around. He could take it. He's the same size, same weight, Yeah,
exactly.
Go shove him around. Get pissed in the locker room where no one can see it.
I get you're embarrassed, but now how do you feel? After what you just did now.
He did apologize.
He did. But
it still happened, right?
Yeah, and that's, like I said, it's a bummer for the Raiders. Because
I heard he's pressing charges.
Yeah, he is pressing charges.
The one I don't quite get, talking about pressing charges, is the protester who ran out in the middle of a field during a football game to get tackled by a football player.
He pressed charges?
Oh, yes.
Is that right?
Yeah. He's like, I got a concussion, I'm pressing charges. It's like, man, you illegally ran onto a live sporting event with 6'9", 300-pound men.
The dudes literally have been trained to take dudes down.
Yeah.
Like, that's their whole job.
Yeah. And you're doing something you're not supposed to be doing.
Right.
You're outrunning the help, outrunning the security guards.
Oh boy. So yeah, we don't know what's going on with that. Obviously, you'll probably get suspended for a game or two.
Who knows? I have no idea. I kind of thought we would hear something by now.
I thought so too. I mean, it's been 4 days, 5 days now. You would think something would have come out.
Absolutely.
Especially since they're getting ready to play a game on Sunday. No. They're on bye week. That's right. They're on a bye week this week.
That's probably why it's been.
They're dragging their feet a little bit.
Yeah, they're on bye. Let's deliberate. Make the best judgment possible without ruining.
That is what the NFL is known for, making the best judgments possible.
They got to make sure that they still get butts in the seats.
Right.
Jerseys sold.
Right.
Johnny brought up a great thing the other day, that they're talking about calling it the National Felon League.
Yeah.
That's actually a real thing. I saw it was on a scientific paper website that was a study actually done in 2015.
Yeah, they made a movie about it. It's called The Longest Yard.
Did they really? Oh, Jesus. You got me, dude.
Got him.
There were 2 movies, The Longest.
Burt Reynolds, he was in both of them.
Oh, my gosh. Fantastic. You got me good. All right, we're done with that. Let's move on to our list of questionables, which at the time we wrote these notes, things have changed. I was at work today, and I thought I was getting phone calls all day, but no, it was just the sleeper app, info dumping on me.
It's NFL calling you, baby, letting you know what's going on.
I haven't had a chance to write any of this down.
Sure.
So I'm just gonna go for it.
Yeah.
Because a lot of these are still questionable.
Sure. I'll let you know which ones are.
Awesome. Cooper Kupp, questionable.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely still questionable. Russ Wilson
That's your guy,
or
huh?
Rusty Bilson, as
Yeah,
I
I
just
saw
renamed
that.
him that. I just love. I can't stop saying it. Rusty Bilson.
Rusty Bilson.
Because he's a little rusty, man.
Yeah. Russell Wilson.
But he's still getting paid.
Year. Yeah.
So
and that's
he's
the
making
thing.
them bills. He's just
He's
a
getting
Rusty
paid.
Bilson.
Ugh. Ugh.
I'm pretty positive he's gonna play. He's still in my lineup.
Okay. Yeah, I saw that.
Olave. Questionable, but practice in full today.
Right. And I will say all these guys on this list are still in lineups.
Okay, that's great to know.
Because there's a ton of people on the questionable. I didn't go through every single one.
Yeah.
If they're on your bench, I mean, you know what's going on. Mm-hmm. So.
Yeah, I mean, I'm questionable.
Yeah.
I don't even know if I'm going to make it till Sunday. I don't know. Shit, man. After that, Tyler Lockett, questionable, but I think he is good to go. I think he is off that now.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty positive.
Okay.
Hunter Hurst?
Hayden Hurst.
Thank you. Questionable. Saquon Barkley.
He is not questionable. He is going to play. He is off of the questionable report
All
list.
right.
whatever you
Good
wanna
for
call
Chris
it.
Alex.
Yeah, he's
That's
officially
awesome.
in.
Saquon Barkley been on a tear this year. Huge chance to finish number one running back in the league. It's exciting to see him back.
Yeah.
I was a little worried about his last year production after the injury the year before because
Yeah.
he just wasn't the same.
Sure. Need that extra year.
But he's back.
Yeah.
And it's exciting to see him.
If only Chris Alex could use him to win some games. But
Hey, he got one.
He sure did.
He got one on you, bud.
He sure did.
It's all the way. Speaking of running backs for Chris Alex, James Conner.
Is out. He's an official
He's
no-go.
an official out.
He's official out now.
Ooh, that's gotta hurt a little bit.
And I've got Eno Benjamin on deck. I
That's
put him in my
fun.
lineup this
Really?
week. Yep. I sure did.
Didn't they just pick up a running back?
Probably.
Oh,
Everybody
it
is.
was.
Not Tony Jones.
Oh, Tony Jones went to Seattle,
Yeah, I want to say that. Yeah,
Yes.
I believe so.
but they just picked up somebody. We'll get back to that. We'll search about that.
Cardinals did?
here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Probably a Williams.
We'll try to figure that out, and then once I do, I'll bring it up.
Okay.
Taylor.
Yeah, he's still a big questionable. Yeah, along with your guy Naeem Hines, which I didn't put in because he's on your bench.
but he practiced in full today.
Oh,
but
did
it's
he?
still questionable.
Philip
Yes.
Lindsay was also questionable. I didn't put it on the list because again he's on I think Mile High's bench. But
Gotcha.
yeah, the Indy running backs are looking a little banged up. But if you say Himes is good to go, then
No, he's not good to go.
Oh.
He's still questionable,
Just
but he
practicing.
did have a full practice.
Gotcha.
Today. It's not. It's not one of those ready to go. Chris Godwin, questionable. Raheem Mostert,
Yep.
Tyler Higbee,
Yeah.
T. Higgins,
Both questionable, yeah.
and Melvin Gordon.
And then I also have Mac Jones or Julio Jones, I believe.
Julio Jones, Mac Jones is questionable.
Mac Jones is okay.
Yes, both Joneses.
Both Joneses.
Jones into play.
Yep.
Ayo.
And then I have a list of outs.
You have a list of outs?
I have a list of
I'm gonna
outs.
pass it to you for that.
Michael Thomas is out, as is Rashad Bateman, which a little tough, I suppose.
I kind of saw that coming.
Yeah. Cam Akers and Kenny Galladay.
Cam Akers out for personal reasons.
Oh, is that what's going on?
Yes, it wasn't an injury. It was personal. Not sure what it was.
That'll
None of
happen.
our business.
No.
It's personal.
You say it's personal, yeah, exactly.
It's,
That's
we
whatever
trust
Tom
you.
Brady
Take-
did in
take
preseason
care-
or whatever's
yeah,
going on.
Take care of your
whatever.
things. Hope that everything's okay.
Yeah.
Take care of yourself.
And Andy Dalton is getting a start again this week for Jameis Winston.
Oh, Andy Dalton.
He is
All
starting
right, the Rocket. Here we go.
Yeah, the Ginger
That's
Rocket.
excited to see. So it's going to be the Taysom Hill show. Got it. I
Oh,
should put him
okay.
in the
All
lineup.
right.
It was last year. So that's it for the news.
Yep, that's
Let's
it. Mm-hmm.
move on to our weekly report. Going into the way to go, number one high scorer. Daskell coming through
Yeah.
with a semi-injured team.
2 goose eggs.
He almost has a full IR
Yeah.
with 2 goose eggs.
0 points in 2 positions.
Fantastic. Scoring over 200 points with 204.63. Way to go, Daskell.
Tough.
You're the man.
He could have scored 246 max if he
Daskell
would have
fitting
played
at
his cards right.
4-1, coming in at, with predictions being at the bottom of the league through sites that I've looked at. Oh, I didn't think that Daskell. The sites did.
Right. Don't blame Adam or me. Because I didn't think. Yeah, it's a surprising. Yeah, for sure. But
Well, that's great. No, I
yeah.
love that he's 4-1. Yeah, be at the top. I would love to see somebody else win.
Yeah.
We still love you, Raul. 3 peats are
I will say.
enough.
I will say this.
Get it? You can't even get it out.
If Daskell does win this year, it's because he got lucky.
All right, that's too good. You gotta make me cry.
I really tickle myself sometimes.
Tickled me too. Alright. We can't have 2 minutes of laughing.
Oh boy.
Oh my gosh. That's fantastic. So, but in the end, congratulations, Astral. You won some money this week with highest scorer. Did a great job too. Mm-hmm. On to the lowest score.
Who's that?
Well, the notes say me.
Me.
But
You?
it's not me. No, it says me because that's what you wrote.
It's me.
You didn't write your name.
That was me. I did get the low score this week and helped get Chris Alex's first win.
With
So you're welcome.
well, you still scored over 100 points, but you lowballed at 123.2.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that?
That was a tough week.
You don't have to go into it because we will go into
We
it.
will go into them. Yeah, it was a tough week. Honestly, I think it changed. I was feeling good, and until Saquon Barkley came back and scored all those points, and I was kind of like, oh, so that's how it's going to be this week. Gotcha. It is what it is. You got to lose sometimes.
Man, I brought that up a couple podcasts ago. I'm like, Chris Alex is the scariest person to play against because he has this lineup that, a lot like Johnny's is boom or bust.
Right.
Like, you're just like, these guys can score a huge amount of points on us.
Yeah.
Because they're not quite as consistent as, Raul or even sometimes Mile High.
Well, right. Mile High was what I was going to say. Yeah, as far as consistency, I mean, Mile High, he still got, over 158 last week. I think that's his lowest week he's gotten so far.
Right. That's fantastic. That's great.
Good floor.
Like, you want to... It's a game of averages at some point, right? Like, you can't boom every time. But if your bust is higher than some people's booms...
Right.
You're doing great.
Right. Exactly.
So, yeah. Good job. Lowest score, I guess.
Yeah. I'll take it.
Good job.
I'll take it.
Let's move on to Players of the Week. Highest QB. Can you guess who it is?
Oh, let me think. Josh Allen, King of the North.
Has he been called that? Is that a thing?
Raul calls him that. That's his nickname, King of the North.
Oh, I love that. That's good.
That's so good.
Is that from like that one TV show?
Oh, The Simpsons? I think so, yeah.
That's it. Perfect. They predict everything.
Oh, it's from House of Dragon.
Oh,
Okay. I haven't watched it all the way
The
through
Simpsons
yet,
predicted Josh Allen?
59 points for Josh Allen. That's disgusting, dude.
That is gross. That is half the points you scored last week.
Oh, okay.
Did you notice that?
Not quite, but
Now
close
you
enough. You missed it by like 5 points, but yeah, it's close enough. 15 points.
It's close enough. You're over here doing math just to make yourself feel better. After that, running back Austin Eckler, the highest running back on the week, scoring 35.9 points for Mile High. That's great. Eckler's been on a tear. Yeah, he's been doing so good. A little slow start the first 3 weeks, but after that, he has been on it. After that, wide receiver of the week obviously has to be a Buffalo Bills wide receiver for Josh Allen to score that much, and that was Gabe Davis. I think he scored at 46.6 points, but I think he was already at those points. I think just catching 2 balls.
Yeah, it was stupid. My stepson Tristan, he texted me at some point during the day. He's like, "Hey, how much does Gabe Davis have in your league?" Because he knows we have crazy point scorers, and our scores are higher. He just knew that he blew up, and he wanted to know what.
He just wanted to know. Yeah. That's great. I love that. That's fun. Yeah. People know our league can get crazy out of nowhere.
If he did 30 points in my league, what do you do in your guys' league?
Right.
Yeah.
But which makes it more competitive because you just don't know when someone's going to blow up in our league.
Yeah.
Which it kind of pisses me off sometimes because it always ends up happening to me. Well, it finally happened to me Well, that was last week when it happened. I won, or was it this week? We'll go into that.
We'll get it figured out.
Yes. Tight end of the week, Travis Kelce, 33.5 for Mile High.
Not Mark Andrews this week.
Fantastic.
Kelsey gets one. I mean, it's going to be one of those two guys probably almost every week.
Hey, TJ Hawkinson got it last
that's
week.
right. He got that monster 40 and 40 and a half.
buddy.
I guess that's true. I forgot about that.
I got some clout, I guess.
Forgot about that.
The defense of the week, the Cowboys.
Man,
34.2.
Those Cowboys defense, man.
Playoff ready defense.
Wow. I mean, we started off the season pretty much dumping all over the Cowboys like the rest of the league and every other commentator did. But holy
Any other
crap,
podcast
man.
we listen to, just
Yeah.
Dak Prescott's out. They're done for.
And their defense is just on fire. They're the third. How do you say this? They've allowed the third least amount of points in the league, right? Over the last 4 or 5 weeks now.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, 61 points scored on Buffalo and Seattle, and then only 72 points scored on Dallas.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, I
That's
had
awesome.
that. So I added that into our little point score, and I have a points allowed.
I didn't
now.
notice that before.
Yeah,
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah,
And
Dallas is
especially where
crushing it.
Detroit's at. But
yeah,
Dallas, good job.
yeah, nice
job
defense
over
to
there.
have. Yeah.
All right.
Want to do the bench warmers now?
Yeah, jump into the bench warmers,
Yeah,
please.
so these are players that, they were highest scoring on our benches. For the quarterback, that'd be Jacoby Brissett for Melvin, 20.65.
That's, you know what that means?
Everybody played the quarterbacks right this week.
Well, that means Melvin didn't play his quarterbacks right.
Well,
Because if his bench warmer is outscoring,
that doesn't mean his bench quarterback outscored his starting quarterback.
yeah, doesn't it?
No.
It absolutely does.
That just means of all the quarterbacks who were on the benches,
He was the highest.
he was the
scoring one?
highest. Right, but that does not mean he outscored Melvin's starters. Yeah.
Ooh.
Yes.
But
So,
barely.
well, what did Melvin?
So, yeah.
21 for
Yeah.
Rodgers.
So, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So, he was the highest scoring quarterback on the bench.
Right.
Of all benches.
Right, with only 20.65. So that tells me most everybody in our league probably played the quarterback right. There wasn't a 35-point quarterback sitting on the bench this week.
Right.
So everybody played their quarterback smart. As opposed to running backs, you have Kenneth Walker sitting with 22.8 on Gaskell's bench. Excuse me, sorry.
Well, that's a tough one. That's because of the injury.
Right. You
Right?
couldn't-
And you didn't know what was going to happen.
It's just like you with Montgomery and Herbert. When the week Montgomery went out, Herbert ended up putting, 18 points or something like that?
Oh, no, it was more like 12.
Was it 12?
Well, he got hurt, and so Montgomery got hurt early in the game, and he put up like 35 points. Herbert did.
Yeah.
I was like, I got to play him next week.
Right, that's what I'm saying. The
And
game
so
he
then I
got
put him
out.
in. So when I put him in the next week, he got like 12
Right.
points.
But the game that you couldn't predicted to play him is when he blew up. Just like Kenneth Walker, you didn't know Rashad Penny was going to get injured.
Even
so.
just like this past week, where I'm like, oh shoot, do I play Montgomery and Herbert? I'm
Right.
like, well, Herbert outscored Montgomery by 1 point.
Don't you wish you could go back to yourself on Thursday morning and say, don't play either one of them?
I didn't have much choice.
Oh, I guess
My other
that's true.
starter's on my IR.
That's
And
right.
I'm not quite figured out who I want my 1B to be. I'm
Sure.
still feeling it.
Sure, I got you.
I'm still feeling it. Looking at trades. We're trying to figure stuff out.
I gotcha. Let's see. Wide receiver, bench warmer of the week, Jacoby Myers on Raul's bench with 20.6. He picked him up a couple weeks ago, right?
Yeah.
Jacoby Myers off
could have been a good
Patriots.
play. And I think it could be a smart play, especially bye weeks coming up.
Right. Oh, yeah. This is the first one. And yeah, we're going to have some bye-week blues
Yes.
for some players.
I wish I knew. I wish I had a harmonica. I'd try to play a little bluesy thing when you say that.
Maybe I'll come up with the soundbite. Bye week's blues.
The bye weeks blues.
Tight end on the bench, Hayden Hurst with 17.3 for Melvin. And then I had the highest defense on the bench with the Patriots sitting at 28.2.
Who would have thought that they would have just shut out the Detroit Lions?
You did. I mean, you didn't
Well, I
think they
know
were going to
they'd
shut them
win.
out, but you thought they were going to win. But yeah, I didn't think
Yeah.
they were going to shut them out. That's crazy.
See when I know they're scoring. They were the highest scoring team
Yeah.
going into that. I talked to my dad about it. He's like, "What? Where'd you get that information?" I'm like, "My main man." He's
stats,
not making
yo.
this up. He just knows how to use a calculator.
I know how to push some buttons in the right order, yo.
But I was comparing coaches at that point. I'm like, Bill Belichick is gonna win.
Okay, yeah.
against Dan Campbell.
At home against Dan Campbell.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's what's happening.
Yeah, the Lions are the most scored on team in the league right now. So
170 points?
170 points over 4 weeks.
Ugh,
5
that's a
weeks.
lot of
Sorry,
points.
5 weeks.
That's more than they've scored, and they were the highest scoring team.
Yeah. Tough stuff. So, yep, those are our bench wars of the week.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Evan. We're going to move right along. We're going to do something a little different this week.
Switching it up.
We as... are we considered podcasters?
Yeah,
we're podcasters.
Yeah, we pay to do this, so yeah.
Yeah.
We pay to do it. So, yes, we definitely are. We're not getting paid.
We're podcasters. That's why we can use some copyright stuff. So that's,
Yeah.
So because we're not getting paid, and
Right,
that's fine with
exactly.
me because we're having fun. I'm having a great time, and we hope you're having a great time too. So we're getting tired of doing the huge info dump that is football and going through every single game.
Right.
Hopefully, most of you have watched all the games, so you already know what's coming, right?
And you have access to the app, so you can look the numbers up.
Right.
Because we're not, it comes to a point where me and Kamish aren't even really talking to each other. We're just staring at our phones
Yeah.
and reading out stats one by one by one.
I remember
And
last week, like, just peeking up at you, like, one or two times, being like, are we talking to each other?
Are we still doing this?
Yes. And then,
Bail,
like, looking
man.
at the phone,
Bail.
like, it's been 80 minutes,
Yeah.
and we're still talking about the goddamn games.
You were on game 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, what we've decided, and, you know, I guess I'll apologize to listeners that aren't in our league, but this is for our league. And that's, you know, we haven't gotten calls from any execs, so we're not blowing up by any
Yeah,
means.
no.
But we want to keep it for our league. So we are going to do week 5 reviews, but not of the football games themselves, but we're going to do the matchups from our leagues.
So we're not doing 16 different games. We're doing
5.
basically 5.
And that's going to save time because
Yeah.
we have full-time jobs.
It might save time. We're at 27 minutes already.
But that's great. 27 minutes. We're laughing way more than last time.
Oh, yeah.
I felt like a robot last week.
Oh,
Just
yeah.
blah, blah, blah. Or was
And
it the
Matt
Tasmanian
Stafford had,
devil?
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, going through the actual matchups, you know, I think it. Yeah, I you know, you brought the idea up last time, almost immediately after we got done with our 2-hour recording session, and I was all on board. I'm like, yes, that's perfect. Let's
Yeah.
really lean into our audience,
Right. And
which
let's
is
give it
10
a shot.
people.
And if anybody out there thinks differently, let us know.
Yeah. If you,
Do we have
if,
a way to let us know? I don't even know.
the message board.
Yeah, there's messages. There's our message board. You could, if it's on YouTube, you can leave a message.
Leave a comment. I
Yeah.
do check to see if we have comments
You know.
sometimes.
Or likes. We like
never
likes
do.
too. You know,
I
it's
always
cool
like
to
our
be
videos.
liked. You know? But don't.
Yeah.
You don't have to.
You don't need to do that.
We're doing this for us, and it's peaceful. This brings peace to me a little bit.
Yeah, it's calming.
And
bit.
especially after a losing week, I have peace like talking about it.
It's
Like
something-
cathartic about.
Right.
You know,
Like I
fantasy
lost this
football.
week, which is a bummer, you know, but it's like at least, you know, if I get to talk about football still on the podcast and I get to go through everybody else and talk up all the other players, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And plus, I don't have to individually congratulate people anymore on the message boards. I just get it done now.
Yeah.
I'll just get it done now.
You efficient dude. But yeah, I'm gonna jump on in
Yeah.
to the Week 5 matchup review.
Nice.
Starting with the highest, the highest scores. We're gonna do them in order. Daskell versus Mile High. Daskell defeated Mile High 204.63 to 158.22. This was for me a really close matchup to watch because
Yeah.
they were both slated very similar scores. So Mile High was, first showed that he was going to average 176 points to Daskell's 179. So that's a close matchup.
3-point difference.
From the get-go, right?
Right.
And, bing, boom, bam, a couple of things happened, and people went off. The big players for Daskell,
Yeah.
of course, Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
He went 29 for 43, 292 yards, 4 touchdowns, all to Travis Kelce for 4 carries, 28 yards, and he took 3 sacks. He scored 34.73 points, and that's about his average, right?
Yeah, that's basically what he does. There's a reason that the Chiefs are, I believe, the scoringest team right now. Yeah, they have the most points over the last 5 weeks, 159, and it's because Patrick Mahomes likes to throw touchdowns, and he likes to throw them to Travis Kelce a lot.
They're best friends, man.
Yeah, they should be.
I really think they take bubble bath bombs together, and that's from
That
his,
stupid
from his
commercial.
commercial. But I want a jazz bath.
Yeah, that
I
sounds
really
awesome.
do. That
Just the dude
sounds
playing-
great.
Yeah.
But I want like a live jazz musician. I don't care. I'm not gonna play jazz on my phone.
No, I don't want to do the work.
I gotta hear that woodwind. I gotta hear that brass.
This is my relaxing time.
I gotta hear it, just be shrill in my bathroom and echo. The acoustics are great in bathrooms. But Patrick Mahomes did his job, got it done.
Yeah, he did.
Big boomer for Daskell. Leonard Fournette at running back.
Yeah.
Doubled his projection
Yeah.
for 30.9 points. He had 14 carries, 56 yards, 1 touchdown, 10 of 11 receptions for 83 yards and a touchdown. Very versatile that game.
Those are good numbers for the receptions. I like that 10 out of 11 number.
Yes.
That's huge.
That you don't see a lot of wide receiver ones on teams getting that many targets.
Right. Right. I mean, even Cooper Kupp, he's getting, 17, maybe?
Yeah, well, yeah.
On
Cooper
a
Kupp.
really good game, I think.
Right.
He's getting
I think
17.
he's averaging almost in the teens.
Right.
Yeah.
So, I mean, 11 attempts, catching 10 of them, that's huge.
Yeah. For instance, on to the next, Devontae Adams, wide receiver. He way outdid his projection for our league. He was projected 15.7 points. He scored 41.9 points, but he only caught 3 of 7. So, see, this is our
Right.
comparison. But he had 124 yards for 2 touchdowns, but those 2 touchdowns were bombs.
Huge.
So in our league, we get, and I'm sure I've covered it earlier
Yeah.
in previous ones, but you get bonus points for over 40-yard plays.
Yeah.
And that'll do it.
I mean, he had a huge game.
Those are game-winning plays
41 points.
off 3
Jesus.
catches.
That's huge.
Maybe I should look into changing that, but I don't want to. 'Cause
No.
this is how we've always played.
Right.
For 9.5 years
Yeah,
now.
we like points.
We do like points. That's why we play this. We like to watch points go up. After that, DK Metcalf also having a great game.
Yeah.
23.3 points compared to his 11-point prediction.
Mm-hmm.
He went 5 for 8, 88 yards, 1 touchdown, but did lose a fumble.
He did.
That touchdown was a 40-yard plus touchdown. See, that's the key. You got to find
Yeah.
those big plays. You see what
Right.
happens.
You got to throw to the guys that, you don't have to throw for over 40 yards, but you got to throw to a guy who will run for over 40 yards after he makes that catch.
Yeah, I
That's
guess
the key.
40-yard runs are less likely than a 40-yard catch.
Right. Because you're probably taking 10 of it in the air, at least. You know what I mean? 5 to
Yeah.
10 in the air.
Yeah,
And then you're really only running for another 30 or so.
absolutely.
But yeah. DK Metcalf, he's had a pretty good, solid few games.
Yeah,
Geno
it's
Geno
exciting
Smith
to
is
watch.
helping him out.
Geno Smith has been on fire. And
Yeah.
speaking of Geno
Oh,
Smith.
speaking of, yeah.
Exactly. Great pickup for Daskell.
It's a nice
this
one,
year.
too.
So I don't think he drafted because he picked him up this year, right?
Did he really?
Yes.
Oh, that
he
makes
picked him up
sense.
off the waiver wire.
That would make
I was
sense.
thinking about it, but I'm like, it's up in the air. Is it Geno Smith or Drew Lock?
Lock, right.
Fuck, I don't know.
Right.
I'm gonna pick up Trubisky because he's got the lockdown. Great,
Good.
because that's exactly what I did, and I am kicking myself.
Oh, boy. Whoopsie.
Oh no! But Geno Smith almost doubled his projection, getting 41 points of his predicted 23. He went 16 for 25, 268 yards, 3 touchdowns, 3 carries for 13, 3 sacks. But 3 of those touchdowns were for over 40 yards. They were the bombs down the middle. It was
Yeah.
fun to watch. Great game to watch. It was super great.
Over the last 5 games, Geno Smith has 2 touchdowns, 0 touchdowns, 2, 2, and 3 last week.
So he's on it.
He's on it.
I did read a report that Drew Lock's nipping at his heels, but
Dude,
but I think that's some sleeper shit. Being like, let's just get some
we
reactions,
need some
get
people on the app
pushes.
real quick. We need
Right.
an influx for our data points or some bullshit
Exactly.
like that.
You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah, I saw that too. I was like, why would anybody think Drew Lock would even no? They're not losing.
I think they're just seeing if they could force him up the trending. Like,
Maybe. I mean, they're not losing games, right? I mean,
well, they are losing games.
okay, I guess they are losing games. But Geno Smith isn't losing the games.
No, Geno Smith has been great, and
Yeah.
the statistic I saw 2 weeks ago that he is actually passing 11% more of the time than when Russ Wilson was there.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Wow. That's
So
nice
they're a
stat.
throng football team,
Yeah. It's good for
which
that
is really
receiver core.
exciting. Which is why I'm playing Tyler Lockett because they're just throwing more.
Right. Yeah.
Other than that, we covered his bench,
Yeah.
and I'll swing it to you for Mile High, old Boogie Dangles.
So Mile High, unfortunately, a couple of his guys didn't have the weeks they've had in the past. Lamar Jackson's the one that stands out to me. He only got 19.51, which is actually higher than he got last week against the Bills, but they were playing the Bills, so it's kind of understandable. But yeah, only 19 out of 32, only 174 yards in the air. He did have a touchdown, did have an interception, and he carried the ball 12 times for 58 yards. It's that whole 124 in the air. They were playing Cincinnati, so they were playing a solid defense, but that's what hurt Lamar Jackson.
Yeah,
for
they
Mile
eked
High.
out this win. I
Yeah.
think that's going to be Baltimore's game all year, just eking by.
Yeah,
But good enough to do it until their defense shows back up,
right.
which they are. But they're doing great, but they could do better.
Better, sure. Austin Eckler did have a great game for Mile High, though. Projected 16, then doubled it. He got 35.9. Again, he was one of our starters of the
Gavin,
week.
here's the players of the week. Yep.
Yeah, so 16 carries, 173 yards on the ground. That's huge. A touchdown. One of those rushes were over 40, which, like we were just talking about, it's tough to do because you got to get past two sets of line. You got to get through
that's
your
real
own
tough
your
to
own
do.
guys. You know what I mean? You got to find the holes that
Unless
your
they're
guys are
lining
making.
up all DBs and they're
Yeah.
blitzing you.
Huge. You got to get through a lot of guys. And then he did have 4 out of 4 receptions for 26 yards and another touchdown in the air. So really good from him. After that, Kelsey, we just talked about, caught all 4 of those touchdowns in that Monday night game. 7 out of 8 receptions, only 25 yards though. But when you're doing them in the end zone, when you're catching in the end zone, it doesn't matter.
Right.
You're gonna get those points. He ended up with 33.5 points. Again, our tight end of the week. Mike Evans, he underprojected a little bit. He was projected 16. He got 12. Tom Brady's having a better couple games.
He's got him in his flex. And
Right.
that's great. I think Mike Evans is great in the flex. I think that's where I would ride him all year.
Yeah,
Is in the
right in the
flex
flex, right in
Yeah.
the flex, baby.
That's right.
Jared Goff though had a poopy day, getting shut out by the New England Patriots.
New England did it. Did you pick? You picked them, didn't you? I can't wait to.
Yeah, I did.
to rub
It's
that in.
I had a bad pick week last week, fellas. I almost said ladies and gentlemen. There are no ladies listening to this. I mean,
rude.
I hope there is. Believe me, I hope. But we're a fantasy league made up of 10 dudes, and if other people are listening that aren't in our league, that's awesome. But I don't think there are.
My wife.
Your
I
wife.
make
Oh,
her
there you
listen.
go.
She listens
My
every
wife.
once in a while.
Yeah, mine does.
Anyway,
Yeah, Jared Goff
Boring, but
projected
classic,
20.
dude.
Classic.
I'm such an asshole.
Projected 24, only got 9 points. That's tough. But Mile High did have that Broncos defense who ended up getting 28 points over their projected 24. 6 sacks and 2 interceptions will definitely help that go.
Heck yeah.
Yeah. And again, on his bench, not a whole lot going on. He had Alec Pierce from the Colts getting 12 points over his projected 5 on his bench. And then Evan Ingram? Yeah. Evan Ingram, tight end from
At Jacksonville.
Yeah, 12.9.
Good spot for him.
Yeah,
I'm,
he
I'm
was
so happy he got out of the
Giants?
Giants. I'm
Giants.
so happy he got out of there.
Yeah. But yeah, just a tough week for Mile High. Again, he's got a really solid team. When Lamar Jackson shows up, he shows up. When Jared Goff shows up, when he, puts points on the board, when he doesn't get a 0 in the game, he shows up. So, it was just, a down week for him.
That's great.
Yeah. After that, let's go into the Raul Johnny matchup.
Yeah, another matchup I was following really closely. Both at the time 3-1 teams, sitting at the top of our league.
Yeah.
A potential, dare I say it, potential championship look
preview.
preview.
Did you think the last two matchups, the Mile High Daskell and then Raul Johnny, might be our playoffs preview?
No,
'cause we have
because
6.
one of them I'm going to be
Yeah.
involved in
Oh,
at some
okay.
point.
Okay. All right.
So,
Well,
you already counted yourself out last
Yeah,
week.
for
So,
Well, Raul ended up beating Johnny. He goes to 4-1. Johnny slips to 3-2.
Yeah.
Raul was projected 191. Projected 191.
yep.
He didn't get his projection, but he still scored 180.
That's
which
good. That's
says
pretty
a lot
efficient.
about his team.
That's
I think.
efficient. He's got a very
Yeah.
efficient team
Yeah.
that rides on the shoulders of Josh Allen.
Josh Allen, we talked about in the beginning, he was only projected 33, he ended up getting almost 60, 59 points, 20 out of 31, 424 yards
Gross.
in the air.
He's breaking records this year,
Ugh.
unless he breaks an ankle.
4 touchdowns. He had an interception. What are you going to do? But 2 of those touchdowns he threw were for over 40 yards. So, yeah, just a huge
Good for him.
day.
That's great football. He's playing fun football.
Yeah.
He's super exciting to watch. He gets jazzed up.
Yeah.
He gets in the faces of other defenses.
Yeah, he's not afraid
It's
to.
just like,
Yeah.
he's there.
He knows what he's doing.
You know, I want to meet that guy.
Let's keep going down. Big hitters. Justin Jefferson. Jazzy Jets. Woo! He had a decent day. Was projected 19.3, scored 24.5. You gotta
That's
like
close
that.
to the projection.
Yeah. He threw once for 23 yards. He did throw the ball once. But then he had 12 out of 13 receptions for 154 yards. No touchdowns, and he still got 24 points. Gotta like that.
Oh,
You
when you're
got to
getting
like that.
150 yards, yeah.
Yeah,
You
pretty
could
huge.
you could nix the touchdowns. Having an extra touchdown, you're just like, oh yeah, you're breaking 200. At that
Yeah,
point.
exactly. Debo Samuel, he didn't have a very good game. I mean, he did have only 2 out of 9 receptions for 20 yards. He
That's
did have a
not good.
touchdown.
I didn't get to watch the game, so I don't know if those were drops or miscues from Jimmy G.
Right.
So I'm not going to speculate, but still 2 of 9.
That's
Not
tough.
what you're looking for.
Right, that is tough. And you were playing Carolina. They don't have the best known defense, so I don't know.
What the H, man?
But they ended up winning, so it doesn't really matter. Mark Andrews, tight end for a rule, projected 18. He got 22.9 off of 8 out of 10 receptions for 89 yards and a touchdown. He's a very good tight end. He's always going to be in that one of the top tier tight ends. I mean, he did get 3 points last week, or week 4 against Buffalo, but then 25, 28, 22, and it's just been sick. Just sick. And then Niners defense, 25 points, not too shabby, 6 sacks, interception.
Always doing good.
Yeah.
49ers defense always seems to be doing
Now,
good.
I will say he did have Raheem Mostert on his bench, who scored 18.7. That's 18 carries for 113 yards and a touchdown.
Gotcha.
And now he has the backup Chase Edmonds because we made that trade, the handcuff trade.
Interesting trade. I agree with Daskell. I don't know if I would have went for it, but
As far as going for Edmonds or going for Burkhead?
I would have kept Edmonds.
And
Trading for Burkhead.
my only thought on it was, I had a couple thoughts because I did think about it. Yeah, Burkhead, I think this is his 10th year in the league.
Yeah.
Something like that. Chase Edmonds, it's his 5th year, I want to say.
Yeah.
4th or 5th. For sure.
Check mark Edmonds.
What's that?
Let's go. Keep going. I'm thinking.
Oh,
We're
but
doing
my
this
thing
right
is, Damian Pierce is now one of my number 1 running backs. He's
Yeah.
the guy I'm leaning on
So
heavily.
you want his old ass handcuff
If Rex Burkhead is a starter, Rex Burkhead puts up numbers. Yeah, for
for
sure.
a losing Texans team, or do you want to Chase Edmonds, who's only been in for 5 years, for a potential Super Bowl team for the next few years? That's how my
I don't know how they're
brain
going to do
works.
that when Tua quits the league.
He should retire before he. Yeah.
I mean, but
But
no,
there's
that was my
going to be
thought
other
process.
quarterbacks.
What's that?
It's dynasty football.
Right.
You know, you
It
do
is
you,
dynasty.
but-
That was a thought, but I decided I needed that handcuff because if Pierce goes out, because I just lost, I had said no to it. I rejected the trade initially, and then Rashad Penny went on IR, and then I accepted that trade because I lost one huge running back. I couldn't do it. I couldn't go into. I don't want to have running back issues. I want to have handcuffs, and if Damian Pierce goes out, Rex Burkhead will
I'm going to go back to our first segment with Mostert being questionable.
He's playing. He's going to play.
Okay.
I think he said even there was a thing that said he's going to play in week 6. So.
Cool. I just wanted to give you a hard time.
Oh, yeah.
It's your
you gotta do
dynasty
it.
team, bro.
You got to do it.
We're all going to do things a little bit different. I'm going to move right along.
Yeah.
On to Johnny.
Johnny.
Johnny, tough loss, man. Mm-hmm. For a long time there, especially during the 3 o'clock games, it was neck and neck.
Yeah.
It was anybody's game.
He still put up points.
Definitely did. Matthew Stafford, he went pretty much what we thought he was going to do.
Yeah.
He scored 23 points of 24. That was predicted.
Mm-hmm.
He did 28 of 42 out of the air for 308 yards. A touchdown, an interception, 2 long bombs, which was great. He did lose 2 fumbles to 5 sacks.
And he did lose to the Cowboys.
Najee Harris, not showing up. Hasn't really been showing up all year. There's something going on at Pittsburgh. We don't know what it is. Maybe it's the culture. Maybe it's time to move on from Mike Tomlin.
Ooh.
Maybe it's just it's rebuilding.
Yeah.
And they just lost Big Ben, so to retirement.
Yeah.
So it is essentially rebuilding. Right?
You lost
Big
your
Ben
captain.
was the Steelers for a very long time.
He's your captain. He's your
Throwing football and sending dick pics. Getting it.
Not necessarily in that order.
But he's been unfortunate as the potential bell cow over there.
Yeah.
I know he's coming off, I think, an injury or a slight injury.
Naj.
Yes.
He had that list, Frank.
Oh, that's
over
right.
the preseason.
I think that's definitely affecting him.
No, I mean, we haven't been bringing it up.
I mean, he's only has a potential 15 touches per game. That's not workhorse numbers.
Yeah. He hasn't broke over 12 points in our league so far.
Yeah, so he's looking out there for trades.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at it too.
Ooh.
So, we all should be.
Yeah, we should.
After that, Breece Hall, whom I would have drafted if I didn't trade that pick overall, but I didn't at the time need a running back. On fire the past few weeks. He is over-projecting. He scored 28.7 over 12 this week with 18 carries. That's a workhorse number with 2 receptions. So 20-plus touches to me per game is workhorse numbers.
Man. That's huge. Breece Hall.
All right, you think about like 50. You're going to have 57 plays in a game.
Right.
You have 22 of those to one player.
Right.
That's a workhorse load.
Yeah.
But he had 2 receptions for 100 yards. Awesome. One of them was for over 40. So I think it was like a 73-yard catch or something.
Amazing.
Good for him. Jamar Chase, not having the year he had last year, but still fun to watch. Who knows? That could change with some injuries out there with T. Higgins and some other people. Tyreek Hill was questionable going into this game. Or
they both were. Hill and Waddle were both questionable.
Gotcha. Yeah. But
and then you lost Teddy.
He under projected, and they lost Teddy right at the beginning. That was unfortunate for Dan, who now has every quarterback on the Miami roster.
Dude's got like 8 quarterbacks on his fucking team.
So I know half of his bench is quarterbacks, and this is tough because there's no quarterbacks.
There's none. There's none.
But Zach Ertz being respectable. Getting 10 out of 12 points.
Yeah.
Stephon Diggs, of course, showing up.
Yes.
It's Stephon Diggs. 22 points out of 20. Devin Duvernay, awesome. I love that he's being played.
Yes.
I love that kid. He's fantastic. And the highest scorer on his team, Kirkamus Cousins. I'm going to pass the football. I'm going to score a touchdown.
It's Cousins. I like playing football.
He's awesome. He did 32 of 41. He really tore up Chicago. 296 yards, 1 touchdown, 2-point conversion. Did give up an interception and a sack, but he also had 4 carries for 4 yards and a touchdown.
Yeah.
That guy was getting it on. I think he was perfect through the first 12 throws, if I remember right.
17. He went 17
throws.
for 17.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
Heck
Breaking
yeah.
records.
I'm glad I didn't overshoot that.
Yeah.
But other than that, that was his starting lineup. Better luck next week, Johnny.
Yeah. He'll get there.
Right on in, let's keep it going. Right on into the next group. It is Beetle versus Melvin.
Yeah.
Beetle showing up for his first win of the
Hey-o.
year.
1-4.
Bringing down Melvin back from the stars. His high in the air with his Jamal Williams and DeAndre Swifts and Derrick Henrys.
Yeah, Melvin's
I don't
on
know why
a
I'm
three-game.
picking on Melvin,
He's
but-
on a 3-game losing streak.
Oh, is he really?
Yeah, he's lost 3 in a row.
Oh man,
He was
I'm gonna
2-0.
stop picking on Melvin then.
I should have jumped in sooner, but
Yeah, but
we'll see how far you went with it.
Yeah. I'm such a dick. But yeah, Beatles showing up. Let's
Yeah.
get it. Good job, dude. But looking at his starting
Right.
lineup, doesn't look that way, right?
The first 4 players.
You have
5.
Trevor Lawrence only scoring 18 of 24. J.K. Dobbins only 4 of 11. Kenneth Gainwell only 2 of 8. DJ Moore only 8 of 10. Chris Godwin only 9 of 14. George Kittle only 7 of 10.
So his first
So-
6 players, all
All
underprojected, and only his quarterback got over 10 points.
So, how did he win this game?
The last 4 players.
The last 3 or 4 players. Gabe Davis,
That's
46 points out of 12. Marquise Brown, Hollywood Brown, being awesome. I'm so happy he's on Arizona. He's
Yeah.
so great. 17 of 14.
Yeah.
Derek Carr, 36 of 23. And the Colts, 24 of 20. That's how he won the game.
That's how he did it, man.
And
Absolutely
like
crazy.
you got to think about it. Looking at these numbers side by side, I don't. If you can't do math
Right.
like that quick, like it doesn't look like he should have.
Right. If you
won
do
that
like the quarterback to quarterback, running back to running back, if you side by side all of them, you're like, how is this dude winning? Like all of these guys are getting less than Melvin's guys. It's just those last that Gabe Davis,
Gabe
the Derek
Davis.
Carr, yeah,
Yes,
Huge.
So,
huge.
but yeah, Gabe Davis, 3 of 6, 171 yards, 2 touchdowns. Marquise Brown, 8 of 10. He's the number 1 over there in Arizona. Derek Carr having a great game.
Yeah.
Tough loss to Kansas City. I had them beating KC, and it was so close,
Yeah.
and they could have done it. They could have, but they did. They did it themselves.
Yep.
They did it too. They lost that game.
Vegas should not be losing the games they're losing. I mean, with what they've been doing, they should be winning games, and I just don't know why they're not winning games. It's a bummer.
And then the Colts defense taking to the lackluster Denver.
Yeah. So on the other side of that, Melvin scored 159, was projected 176. Had a bit of a rougher day. Aaron Rodgers, on projecting, only got 21 out of 26. It's just not the same Aaron Rodgers as he was 3 years ago even. Yeah, he did have 2 touchdowns, 222 yards, but just not doing those big completions. And like I said, he doesn't have Devontae Adams. So
Yeah, he doesn't, but I think there's some chemistry starting to brew.
with Lazard or MVS?
with-
or-
Well, MVS isn't there anymore. He's at KC.
Oh, that's right. He's at Casey. That's right.
But I think with just his receivers,
Yeah.
it was a loss for them against the Giants. Giants showed up. They played well. This
Yeah.
was overseas. The
Yeah.
Giants are on it. That's real exciting to see Giants
Yeah.
doing well again. But I really think, I don't know when their bye week is, but if it's early enough.
It's week 14.
Okay, well then never mind. I'm going to not say that statement, but I want to say the second half of the year.
Okay.
I think they're going.
Like the last 8 games.
I think they're going to turn it up, man.
Okay.
I think they're going to tear it up.
All right. We'll
see.
see. Derrick Henry. He was Derrick Henry last week. He was projected 16. He got 26.2 from 28 carries and 102 yards with 2 touchdowns.
Sorry, I'm laughing at his nickname.
What's his nickname?
The Big Toe.
Derrick
Henry, the Big Toe.
That's nice.
That's fantastic.
I like that. I'm sure Melvin understands that more than I do. I'm sure there's some crazy inside.
That was great hanging out with Melvin and being like, how'd do nicknames? I just dive deep into their personal lives and find out some weird stuff about them.
Yeah, like I found some posted it on MySpace in 2005.
I'm on the dark web, checking out their internet history. Derrick Henry has an abnormally large toe. It's like a Shel Silverstein book.
Probably.
I don't know. But that was so great.
That was fun. Derrick Henry, great game. Cooper Kupp, obviously, he had a decent game. Scored 30 on his projected 22. 7 out of 10 receptions for 125 yards with a plus 40 touchdown. Other than that, though, we kind of go down. Christian Kirk didn't have a very good day. AJ Brown is not doing a whole lot. Carson Wentz, though, black and white compared to last week and this week. We'll talk about this week very briefly. Right. But last week, he was projected 23. He got 34.11, which these are the reasons why I've kind of been on Carson Wentz and the passing game side for the Commanders probably longer than I should have. But it's because of stuff like this.
I'm pretty sure I picked Washington to win that game.
And they lost, unfortunately.
Barely. Yeah. But it was a neck and neck game for a while there.
I mean, he put up 25 for 38, 359 yards and 2 touchdowns.
That's
over
great
40
football.
Yeah, really good. Yeah, he's a good quarterback. They're just having some issues in Washington these days. This whole blackmail, Dan Snyder, all this kind of stuff. You've not heard about that?
What is going on?
So apparently they're having they're having their owners meeting on Tuesday. And
okay, the Dan Snyder stuff. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, apparently he has dirt on every owner and Goodell. That's why because apparently people have been wanting to get rid of Snyder and restructure the Commanders for years.
Putting stuff up in a secret lockbox,
a senior
recording, going to a certain stage which allow recording without telling people.
Apparently people are saying that he's the one that leaked all the stuff with Gruden, right? He's the one that leaked all the Gruden stuff about all the inappropriate.
This dude is fucking with millionaires. You don't do that.
That's why that's what people are saying.
That's how you end up
he's
sleeping
still
with the fishes.
The owner.
See, you don't mess with millionaires.
They said people said because he's over the last 20 years he's just accumulated enough.
Let's see if he's bluffing. This is a high stakes poker game. I can't wait to see what
happens. Air it all out. Let's see it all.
Air out the football. Pun intended.
You're telling me Jerry Jones hasn't done some messed up stuff over the last 50 years he's owned the Cowboys? Not Jerry Jones. Jerry Jones.
Yeah, it's Jerry Jones.
Yeah, he's got dirt on people.
I'm not going to comment. Jerry Jones might come after me. I bet he seems like one of those guys who would listen to our podcast. He's scrolling all the way down to the bottom 200, 300 podcasts and let's see if these motherfuckers are listening, talking about me.
Talking about my Cowboys, Great American Football Team. We play every Thanksgiving. Okay, we got a little tangent there.
We love our tangent. That's why I like that we're doing this.
Yes, we're having a
conversation. We can go on our tangents.
Yes, so. I love it. I love it.
That's why we're here.
Buccaneers had an okay day for Melvin's defense. 20 points.
I thought it was going to be a blowout that game. They were up. They were up 21-0, right?
The Tampa Bay Atlanta game
at one point.
Oh, was that right?
Yeah.
Oh,
and
nice.
Then Atlanta, could have been. Atlanta's got a decent football team. I think in a few years, a couple draft picks and a more stable quarterback, they can figure it out. Not saying that Marcus Mariota can't do it.
I like the guy,
but he hasn't.
It's not the year.
Tough.
It's not the year.
It's not the year. You're right.
Melvin did leave Michael Carter on his bench, sitting at 16 points for the Jets. But with Breece Hall kind of taking the reins, when can you start Michael Carter anymore?
Well, on bye week, like this week coming up.
Well, Michael Carter plays on the same team as.
Well, he has bye week.
Oh, when you I guess.
So
I see what you're saying.
Unfortunately, him, but fortunately for me, I'm playing this week, and both Derrick Henry and DeAndre Swift or Jamal Williams are on bye.
Juicy.
It is
juicy.
I love it. I'm so happy. And maybe that's why I've been talking so much shit because I'm facing Melvin this week.
Oh boy, you're super happy. You want your win.
What? I'm gonna lose. It always ends up that way, man. I'm gonna lose by 2 points. 0.7 points. So many this week.
We'll get to you. Year. Well, we will get to you.
Yeah.
You're not next.
Let's get to me already.
All right. Well, next up is actually Chris Alex and myself. Chris Alex had the perfect manager week. He scored the perfect. He could have scored 171, and he did score 171.
That's
he managed his team perfectly.
Good for you. Good on you, bud.
For you. He was projected 175. He did get 171. Ended up, that was enough to beat me. Tom Brady, he's had his couple game bounce back. He was projected 29. He got 30. Over projected. 351 yards in the air. Again, this dude threw 52 times. He's 45 years old. He throws 52 times. That's crazy numbers.
One for every year and then some.
And then some. He had a touchdown. He had a decent game. Christian McCaffrey, he overprojected by 3 points. He's projected 16. He got 19.9. 14 carries, 54 yards, and a touchdown. And then, he did 7 for 12 in the air with 50 yards.
That's workhorse numbers into the 20s, like I was saying.
He's back. And then, of course, right behind him, you had Saquon Barkley. Projected 17, scored 22.
Went out with an injury scare.
Yeah.
Few moments later, back in.
Yeah.
Went off for a huge run. That's when he got the one reception for over 40 yards.
Yeah. He went out, and then I was like, okay, not cool because he's a person.
Right.
Right. But I was like,
for my week, I was
fantasy,
like,
hey, right on. Take the rest of the game off, buddy.
It's just a shoulder. Pop that shit back in.
No, go rest. Take the rest of the day off.
Please.
Gear yourself up for next week. I'm all about player safety these days, fellas.
New concussion protocol.
Yeah.
He looked a little wobbly. Let's sit his
I
ass
ain't taking
down.
any chances. No chances. So, yeah, he comes back in. He drops another 15 points on me out of nowhere. That was tough. 13 carries for 70 yards and a touchdown. But, of course, he had that crazy 50-something yard, whatever that running. Gross. Marvin Jones, overprojected. He was supposed to get 7.6. He got 13.9. Not too shabby for Jacksonville. They're still losing games, though, so what are you going to do? Other than that, though, Jalen Hurts, 32 points, 239 yards, and 2 touchdowns.
Jalen Hurts rode his taxi all last year, and it made me so salty.
Is that right?
Yes, I was so salty because he was playing Tom Brady and Big Ben the whole time.
Right, right.
Yeah, and he was not on his bench, on his fucking taxi squad, and I was salty all year.
Disrespectful.
Because I want this guy, but he'll never give him up because he knows he's about to lose Tom Brady or Big Ben, and he's gonna write up. But good for you.
At least he's got Mason Rudolph.
know.
And Tyrod Taylor in the wings.
That was a fun matchup. This was a matchup I was looking into as well, just because, like I mentioned earlier, one you had just beaten me the week before. Is that right?
No, I beat Johnny the week before.
Oh, okay.
I beat you week 1.
Oh, that's right. Well, because you beat me, I was like, let's see, let's get happen.
But yeah, no, I did beat Johnny last week, so I was coming off a win, but couldn't do it.
So you didn't quite show up. You got 123 of 167 points.
Yeah.
Total.
I was the worst manager, I think.
Your biggest scorers, Joe Burrow. 22 points out of 27, respectively. 24 for 35 out of the air for 217 yards. Not too bad. I would like to see the yardage up with that many attempts and catches.
Yeah, you and me
obviously you both. Damian Pierce showing up.
Dude.
26 carries for 99 yards, touchdown, 3 for 5. That's 31 potential. That's the football game.
26 carries.
He was the football game, and they beat Jacksonville.
And that's why I needed a handcuff, because you got a guy that's got 26 carries. They're leaning on the running game so hard in Houston.
But they're not going to do that with a person who's 10 years in the league.
No, but they're going to put him in on the right down situations because they've been doing that so far all year.
That's true.
So that was my issue with that.
Hey, I like it. That was a great counter. I can respect that. If they're putting 36 touches on their running back.
Right.
By one running back, not the running backs, but yeah. Other than that, Dallas Goedert showed up. I think that's his best game of the year, right?
I want to say so. I think he had a 17. It is his best game, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
I've been watching him. I've always been one of his fans.
Yeah.
I've thought about trying to do some trades with you for it, but I've thought about not. But speaking of best games of the year, Alvin Kamara.
Thank God, dude.
Woo! Finally here.
Better late than never, I suppose.
It was my favorite game of the day, to be honest.
Yeah.
And what a great way to start off football at 8:30. But Minnesota versus... Oh, what am I talking about?
No,
New Orleans versus Seattle.
Yeah.
And that wasn't early in the morning. I'm confused.
That was New Orleans was early in the morning the week before.
Right.
Yeah.
That's why I got confused. But yeah, what a great game. I loved it. It was super fun to watch. But he had 23 carries for 103 yards, 6 out of 6 receptions for 91 yards. Unfortunately, one fumble lost. But that is classic Kamara.
Classic Kamara.
That's what you want.
I hope it's sustainable.
I hope so too, for your sake.
Yeah, for my sake. And the Saints' sake.
One thing I want to point out, Justin Herbert, still not the same man he was.
No.
Since his injury. The stats look okay, but his points aren't.
He only has one touchdown.
Yeah, he got the 30... They won the game 30-28 against Cleveland. But yeah, you got to start considering playing Jimmy Garoppolo at some point, I imagine. Maybe even Justin Fields. You got some tough decisions coming up.
Dude. Yeah.
Big one for you, Ramondre Stevenson on your bench with
Not
20.5 points out of 12.
Not anymore.
Now with Damian Harris out, Ramondre Stevenson, I believe, is on the way to a hell of a few weeks. If Harris is said out for a few weeks, he's going to be their number one, and it's gonna be him. And he might even take away from some of the big wide receivers over there.
I think Ramondre Stevenson was one of those guys that had a pretty solid end of the year last year. This is only his second year in the league.
That's fantastic.
This is his second year, and I want to say last year he kind of ended the year on a pretty high note. Ish. He had a good game against Jacksonville, but he's a guy that I can keep my eye on. I'm like, eventually I think he's going to come around, so maybe this is his time to shine and prove that he could be an almost every down.
Right on. Well, let's go right into the final matchup.
Yeah.
The one I'm involved in, and since we've been taking turns the way we've been doing, I get to talk about Dan instead of myself. Great. So. Why do I keep losing by less than 5 points all the time? It's very frustrating.
Ugh.
And I lost 157.9 to 154.59. And I had a 24-point lead going into it with him only having Josh Jacobs for Monday night. And Josh Jacobs only scoring over 20 points once the entire year.
No, that's not true.
Yeah, it's absolutely true.
He scored 34 points the week before.
Yeah, that's what I said. It was once.
Only
before that.
Oh, so this is the second time. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
So I'm just like, the odds are in my fucking favor. But Dan, let's start at the top of the list here. Fantastic. Dan beats me. Starting quarterback, his number one starting quarterback, Teddy Bridgewater.
Yeah.
Out on the first play of the game, 0 points.
You hate to see it happen.
God, but he is surviving by his running back committee, which is fantastic. Nick Chubb having a hell of a year. Another front runner for running back one.
Yeah.
33 points out of 16. Really on a tear.
Yeah.
Josh Jacobs, 2 weeks in a row, living up to the hype. Really has a stranglehold on the running and passing back situation there. He scored 27 points out of 14 with 21 carries, 154 yards, and 5 receptions for 39 against KC. Unfortunately, losing that game.
Yeah.
CeeDee Lamb, I think, was questionable as well going into that game. Did play. Got half his projection with 7 out of 13. Amari Cooper, it's good. He had a down week last week, I think, but this week he's up.
Yeah.
He got 17 points out of 12. He went 7 for 12, which means he could have had a lot more points.
Right.
Right. There's 5 catches for 60 more yards if you needed it.
Yeah, exactly. Bare minimum, you're looking at what, 25, 30 for averaging 5-6 yards a catch, something like that. Yeah, for sure.
Right. Alan Lazard really starting to show up. He was 4 for 8 for 35 yards and a touchdown. He's a big dude. I really like Alan Lazard.
Yeah.
I think for me, he is the front runner to become the number one.
The vet over there. Yeah.
Also showing up, as we said, which also I think is one of the reasons I lost. Cowboy defense showed up against the Rams.
They sure did.
Which pissed me off. Even though I picked the Cowboys to win, I didn't expect the Cowboys defense to do that.
I mean, they're just crazy these days. It's just insane what they've been doing. I mean, yeah.
Additional notes for Dan. 22 points on the bench for Tony Pollard. He's up and down, hard to trust. I think he's got him in the lineup this next week. But other than that, take it away for me. I want to hear all about myself.
What's funny is I was actually watching this game with Dan, and we're watching it because I knew he needed 25 points for Jacobs, and of course, no offense to you, Commish, but I always root for a guy like you get a comeback. There's a slim chance. I'm gonna root for you. I'm gonna root for you, man.
Yeah, well, that's what you do in college basketball. Like, not in fantasy football, you dick.
But I know. I mean, I was telling Dan, I know that feeling on a Monday night. You just can't do anything about it. You're just watching it happen to you. You're watching
Yeah.
a guy you're going up
All
against.
my guys have played.
Yes.
I have the lead,
Yes.
and I'm just watching it whittle away. I'm not even watching the game.
Right.
The game's on.
Right.
But I'm watching the points just add up,
right.
and my lead whittle away.
Tough stuff. And it's funny because Dan also had a side bet through some daily thing where if he would have got like $3,000 or something. Did he tell you about that?
Yeah.
He had to get a touchdown from Kelsey, Adams, Jacobs, and Clyde Edwards-Helaire, right? And then he needed somebody
Under
to get
51 points.
He hit everything except for the Clyde Edwards touchdown, and it got to the point where had he got that, he would have gotten over his 51 points for the total
but
score.
CEH did get it, but he got called back on a penalty.
That's right.
Because I was rooting for him too about that, not
the bet.
fantasy football. Because
Yeah.
he would have won like $3,000. He was saying.
Yeah, something stupid. But yeah, we were watching that Josh Jacobs, and yeah, that was tough. So Russell Wilson didn't have a great game for you. He underprojected by 10 points. Only got 14 out of 24. Russell Wilson's having tough time these days. He is not the Russell Wilson of old because he's old.
He's
older.
He's just Rusty Bilson.
Yeah, was he like
He's got a hurt
36,
shoulder.
something like that? 33.
Dude, they can play.
Ugh.
Yeah, dude.
Ugh.
He's my age. I'm gonna go out there and dude, no. Dude, I am like I'm 5'7". I'm not going to play football.
You'll be fine. But that being said, Dalvin Cook, he showed up for you. Like
Finally
he
showed
likes
up.
To do.
Here we go.
Yeah, and he scored 25 out of his projected 15, 18 carries. 94 yards, but the 2 touchdowns. That's what really counts. Those nice 2 touchdowns.
The trust, the goal line stuff.
Nyheim Hines didn't, Taylor was out that game.
Taylor was out,
Yeah.
so I started him.
Yeah.
He was projected 16 points. I'm like, this is your game.
That's
Injured in the first drive.
uh,
Concussion protocol. He wibble wobbled up.
Yeah.
Had to get held up, and with the new
you're
with
done.
the new stuff that's going on, it's like you show that, you're out.
Yeah.
And maybe even good luck playing next week.
And I feel like that's been your issue, man. Just your guys just get hurt in the beginning, and then you can't do anything about it the rest of the time.
You can't.
You're just stuck.
It's just luck at that point. I guess I just got some bad luck.
Yeah.
How do I give my juju to somebody else?
I want some of Raul's luck.
Gonna do a seance. I'm gonna have my wife smudge me later.
Oh, I don't know what that means. Smudge? Huh?
Yeah, like a sage smudging.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Like smudge. Is that
Do a little rain dance.
Is
I
that
don't
some
know.
like new age weird stuff?
It is 2022, but everyone's smudging everybody.
Sounds dirty. Moving on, Mike Williams. That Keenan Allen being out is only helping him. He got 18.4.
Please. You're old,
boy.
retire. You've had a great year.
He's got one more
a great
week.
season, not year, but you've had a great not season. You've had a great career.
Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah.
Thank you.
He might be out this week, and then next week he should be back.
Yeah, we'll
maybe?
see. If not, he's still got to be. That could just take some heat off Mike Williams.
Yeah, that's all. Draw some targets. Draw some coverage. I mean,
Exactly.
Yeah. We talked about Chris Olave a little bit.
Yeah.
13.4 out of his 13.87. He's doing what he's
Doing
supposed to do.
Doing what rookies do
Yeah,
out there
I mean, last
catching
2
footballs.
weeks-
Also, though, he's in concussion protocol.
Right.
So
The questionable.
He's questionable going in, but he did practice in full today.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, if he wasn't going to play and he was still in concussion protocol, how could he do a full-on practice?
That makes sense.
You know what I mean?
That's a good point. You
Yeah.
probably can't practice if you're in concussion protocol.
Or a limited practice, or like
Not
doing
full.
your stretches, you're on the bike.
Right.
Like, it would talk
Right.
about that, you
Right.
know?
Looking at the plays for
It's
sure.
funny, I was actually just doing the bicycle motion. Like
Yeah.
a Fred
Nobody
Flintstone,
else saw
but
it.
no
I
one
saw
else
it.
can see it.
I saw it. You probably heard some squeaking or something. Tyler Lockett, though, hey, 32.9 points for you.
Out of 10, he
Out
finally
of
blew up.
10. 104 yards, 2 touchdowns. And one of them was for over 40.
It's a beaut. That was like the hop skip throw that he threw at that game.
Oh, is that what it was?
It was cool. It was
So,
some
yeah,
fun.
you
That was
were-
a great football game.
Yeah,
It was
you
super
want
fun.
Geno Smith to keep throwing the ball, and you do not want Drew Lock to come in and take his place, like some people are apparently saying. Because I heard, I saw something about old Carroll was saying that Drew Lock's, he's
nipping
ready.
at the heels. That's
Yeah.
what I
that's
saw.
what you said. That's right.
Yeah.
Um,
Get out of here.
Yeah, maybe it was for somebody else. I
I
was
think
thinking about
he's
that
just
too.
messing with people.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
Too many rainy days in Seattle. Messing with this guy's head, a little fuzzy.
Drew Lock, just keep. You're getting paid. You're fine. Kyler Murray in a hurry. Underprojected a little bit. Only had 23 out of his 27. He still put up 250 yards. A touchdown. 28 out of 42.
Right.
But
just doing his average stuff, doing his game. He's a top 10 quarterback in
Yeah,
my book. So
he is.
he's just being steady. He'll have a big game one of these times. It's
Right.
going to happen. Hopefully, it's towards the end of the year when I can sneak into playoffs and have a couple big games rather than last year when it was at the beginning of the year and I won like 4 or 5 straight and then I just crashed.
Crash and burn.
So I don't mind a slow build.
Yeah, nice slow
Compared
build.
to last year because it bit me in the butt. I got too hyped up, I think, and it made me real sad when I went on a huge 8-game losing streak.
Tough. Yeah, just watching, just waving everybody as we go up and you go down on the way to the playoffs.
It's great. I was like, I finally feel for the people who went 0-14.
Yeah, you get
it.
it.
I finally
You just can't crawl your way out of a losing streak.
For some reason, they gave my team the shovels and they just kept digging down.
Your bummer this week was the David Montgomery on the bench, 16.2 but that was a
he
tough
was
call.
coming off injury.
Yeah,
I couldn't.
Tough call.
I didn't know he was still questionable, and I'm just like with the hot hand that Herbert was having.
Yeah,
I'm like, let's just see how it plays out.
Yeah,
so I can make a decision next week.
Right,
and that's what I did.
And now your decision is probably Montgomery this week.
And I did. And
that's right.
And it's this week's going on, which I know it gets confusing.
We'll talk about that very briefly.
We will. But anyways, guys, we're gonna take a quick break. Thank you for listening to our
matchups.
Week 5 matchup. We will get into this week shortly.
Yeah.
Welcome back to Pigskin Isn't Just for Cooking podcast. Before we get started, I did say on the message board why I picked up Taysom Hill because I got laughed at. I spent an obscene amount of money to sub
$19?
16 for Taysom Hill.
Mm-hmm.
So Taysom Hill went off, right? He had 4 touchdowns, probably the best game of the year for him.
Right.
So, why invest in that? I was the only one who even tried to get him.
Right.
He's been picked up and dropped 5 or 6 times. And I want to let you know why.
Okay.
This all stems from not that game, but from something that popped up on my feed. Mm-hmm. Not the sleeper app, but my own personal feed.
Yeah.
My own personal feed that Sean Payton told the herd. He texted Loomis, who's over there at New Orleans.
Oh, okay.
So he was the head coach who really believes in Taysom Hill, who got him his huge contract extension.
Okay.
Right, and who made him quarterback after the injuries. Right, who really believes in him. He told them that, hey, quoted, if you're uncomfortable with the $10 million salary, let me know in a year or 2, and I'll take it off your hands.
Oh.
Which means Sean Payton is coming back to coach some damn football. And he wants Taysom Hill to be there.
Oh.
So I'm like, I'm going to pick him off the waiver wire now. And maybe in a year or 2, he could be, in year 6 or year 7, because he's been in the league 5 years.
Okay.
Be even a better player, but an ultimate gadget utility player.
He's a renaissance man.
And in a football game that is completely changing. I mean, the quarterbacks are rushing more and passing more.
Receivers are passing.
And it's changing. The game could be changed in 2 years.
Right.
And I'm just like, I love this duo.
Yeah.
And if it comes to fruition, off of his own quote.
Sure.
I want him now before it's too late.
Okay.
Before someone's like, oh, I need a tight end for a bye week. Oh, he could do it because he could score from anywhere from 2 points to 50 points.
Right.
Am I going to play him this year? Probably not.
But it's just the fact that he's been picked up and dropped so many times. As far as you're concerned, the buck stops here with you. He's going to be on your team, and you will not be dropping him.
I'm waiting to see what Sean Payton does. It's his move now. The ball is in Sean Payton's court. But I wanted to relay why I invested in him because this absolutely, in my mind, could be a great investment.
Yeah, for sure. Well, kind of piggybacking off of that, because the day that you picked him up, there was just a obscene amount of transactions. Raul was in it, you were in it, Dan was in that one. Just a lot going on, and a lot of quarterbacks got picked up. And that, to me, I think is a little scary.
Ooh.
You scared the shit out of me.
Everybody's freaking out.
You're scared.
My season is over. My season is over.
You briefly touched on it. Dan has all of the Miami quarterbacks, just every single one of them. Anyone that's on the roster, he's got them. But I'll say right now, on the waiver wire for quarterbacks is Mitch Trubisky.
Yeah.
Taylor Heineke.
Yeah.
Brett Ripien for the Colts.
Yeah.
And that's basically it. I mean, for the app that I use,
3 people definitely that
Well,
you can pick up that are ready to assume the number 1 position.
you sure can. You've got Dobbs for Cleveland. You've got Colt McCoy for Arizona. But you've got second and third strings available. That's it. On a waiver wire.
Yeah, I traded out Trubisky for I can't remember his name. Josh Allen's backup.
Yeah.
Because Josh Allen's played great football.
Yeah.
But hard football.
Hard football,
and
yes.
he has, I looked at it before I put this in. Josh Allen, his rookie year, I don't know if he didn't play or was he hurt a few times. I think he got hurt for a good few weeks, but has played every game since for the last 3 years.
Yeah.
So I'm like, something's bound to happen.
Something's got to give at some point, yeah.
Especially when you're playing at the level he's playing. Because dude, he's Russian. The new concussion protocol could kick him out for 2 weeks. And now I have the backup for one of the best teams in football.
Right. And that's what makes you scared about it is dude, if a quarterback goes down, it might not just be for the next game anymore, right? Because they're ramping everything up, especially if you're on a short week. Yeah, that's why it's a little scary. There's little to no quarterbacks out there. Mile High does not have another quarterback this week to play against me. He's only playing one quarterback.
But he still might be slated to beat you, right?
Yeah, yes, especially after this past Thursday's game.
Who knows?
Yeah, but it's the slim pickings, and I think you had asked me maybe last week, the week before, what would it take, to trade Jimmy Garoppolo?
It's too much now.
Way too much now, because I've had offers for Jimmy now, and it's way too much. I would have to take advantage of you, and I don't want to do that. But that's the only way I could.
Take advantage of people.
I don't know, but. Yes, it's going to take a lot.
There's have to be some give and take.
I've only got 2 backup quarterbacks. Dude, if one of my quarterbacks goes down, I'm only having 1 quarterback for bye weeks. It's scary that there's no quarterbacks left anymore, man. It's scary.
This is probably the wrong time to even trade Jimmy G.
Yeah.
To be honest, because he is so expensive. Because there is no quarterbacks to be picked up. So the QB capital is so high.
Yeah.
That all QBs are super expensive.
Yeah.
And you have to give up a lot to get a QB.
Right.
Which is not you taking advantage of anybody. That's just the cost.
Right. Because now I don't want to be stuck. I don't want to be stuck without a spare tire.
I have 3
QBs,
I mean? Right? Well, now 4.
Yeah.
I have 4, maybe I have 5, but 2 are on my rookie squad.
Sure.
Who aren't ever going to play it unless injuries or whatever. But yeah, I'm going to, week 9, I'm only going to have 1 quarterback.
Oh, is that right?
Oh, yeah. Unless there's an injury or a concussion protocol.
Right.
Or, because I really don't think Teddy Bridgewater, I really don't think that was a real concussion protocol.
They're just nervous about what has been happening with that team. And
Miami's in the fucking spotlight for it.
Yeah, they're in the doghouse for that.
Yeah. Because it went from a head injury to an elbow injury, and he's probably like, dude, I'm fine.
Yeah.
My elbow
hurts. It's an elbow, right.
But, they have spotters now.
Yeah.
And they're just like, he showed this, so.
Get him out.
Get him out. Which is great.
It is.
I'm not dogging on that. 1, it saves players, and 2, sign me up. How do I get a job? NFL's got a lot of money. Can I just,
I'll watch the games. I'll call you guys if I see something I don't like.
$85,000 a year over in Miami, I'll take it. Just a thought, right?
Just a thought. Oh boy. We talked about maybe talking about the Thursday game.
Yeah, go for it. Start us off.
It is what it is. We both picked Chicago because they thought it was going to be an easy win against the Commanders.
Yeah, Wednesday night there was a huge info dump on Sleeper about
Yes.
all the injuries
Yes.
for Washington.
Secondary
and so we're
injuries,
just like,
yes.
hey, we've been 100% of the time so far we picked different teams on Thursday
Right.
night, but this time, no, we both picked Chicago.
And even I told you I'm not really sure. I'm going to wait till Thursday to make my decision because I still was maybe going to pick the Commanders, but then I was like, no, I just think maybe Chicago has it, and then they really didn't. I almost played Brian Robinson. He had a pretty okay game. I think he ended up getting like 10 points. Obviously it's his second game back. I think the first game where he's taken on some bulk snaps.
Brian Robinson, he got his first touchdown.
He did. That's right. He did get his first touchdown of his career. That's right. That's absolutely
Good for him.
right.
4 months, right? 4 months? No, it hasn't been that long.
Since,
30 days? 40 days?
Since what? He's been shot?
Since he's been shot, yeah.
Oh, yeah. It happened last preseason game, so end of August. So a month and change?
Yeah. Wow.
Crazy.
Good for you, man.
Crazy.
Good for that fella.
I don't have the stats because my phone died, but I know Pettis had a pretty decent game for Chicago yesterday.
Well,
Say no decent,
more. Pull it up.
But Justin Fields, he's coming along. He's starting to do some more work. I believe he got like 25 points on my bench.
Yeah, 25 points. Was really only doing the only work.
Yeah.
I feel he had 12 carries for 88 yards. No other running back came close to that.
Yeah.
Khalil Herbert did, burst off for that one rush.
Right in the beginning of the game.
40.
I feel
Right,
like.
and it was a beautiful run. But yeah, Brian Robinson, 17 carries, 60 yards, and 1 touchdown for you.
Yeah.
Fun to note, Antonio Gibson still being peppered in. Might start doing return yards per the coach. We'll see if that happens.
I just saw something Rivera saying that he's wanting Gibson to get more work. Like he's not saying, okay, Robinson's back, Gibson, you're on the back burner. I mean, you're saying returning yards, but I don't think he's going to be pushed aside as
I don't think he's necessarily the passing down back unless McKissick messes up just like this past game where he didn't catch any of his passes.
Right. He's had a goose egg game. Right. Yeah.
So
I don't know if he got 0 points, but he didn't catch any of his passes.
Pettis for Chicago, slated 1.87, got 24 points.
Huge.
That's great. It's good to see. And we might see N'Keal Harry come back pretty soon for the Bears.
Soon. Yeah. Darnell Mooney almost had a game-winning touchdown. He just came a little bit inside.
From the angle I saw, it looked like a touchdown, but that was from the opposite side catching angle.
And it was still bobbling a little bit.
Yeah.
Before he got control. When he got control, he was
being pushed out of the end zone.
So had he got that touchdown, he would have got, I don't know what he ended the day with.
Like 17 points, 18 points.
So Chicago, we're getting there.
It was a tough break.
We're getting there.
We're still rebuilding, right?
Yeah.
We can chalk it up to a rebuilding.
Dude.
And then in a few years, they're going to build a new stadium, which is... So we have another decade before the Bears are good again.
I saw an article. I didn't read it because it just pissed me off seeing the beginning of it. It said Justin Fields looks like a familiar Chicago quarterback, and it had a side by side of Fields and of why can't I think of his name?
Shot by shot of Fields
and Chicago quarterback cigarette smoking in his helmet.
Oh, Jay Cutler.
Jay Cutler. It's only dude, of any reference I could have pulled. That was the only thing that came to my mind. Smoking a cigarette.
I know Jay Cutler. Just being a cool guy, smoking cigarettes wherever he's at.
That was the only thing I could pull. Jay Cutler. No, they're like, he looks like a familiar Chicago quarterback, and instead of side by side of Fields going back for a pass and Cutler going back for a pass, I was like, dude, give me a fucking break.
Well, Jay Cutler's the best quarterback Chicago's probably ever had.
Which is a sad commentary unto it itself. I mean, because he wasn't an elite quarterback.
I think statistically he is the best quarterback.
For Chicago, yeah, for sure. But again, that's kind of sad.
Yeah. Recently going through divorce, I think. And
aren't all the quarterbacks doing that these days? Going through divorces?
Yeesh.
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 Tough blow.
But that was a Thursday game.
What
we
can
both
you
lost
do?
that one.
Yeah, so moving on.
Doing our picks for week 6.
Yeah, let's do our picks. Well, first I want to let you know buys: Houston, Tennessee, Detroit, Las Vegas, all on buys this week.
Yep.
So take a look at your lineups, people. Last I looked, Beetle still had someone in there.
Or don't.
So
Whatever. If you guys don't want to worry about it, who
I guess
cares?
He's just the freebie guy.
I mean, people have won with zeros in their lineups. Why are you worried about it?
Oh my god. Oof, it still burns.
Still sensitive.
4 weeks from now, I'm still gonna be pissed off about it.
Hey, it's nothing. At least you didn't lose to
right.
Daskell, who had 2 goose eggs and still scored
And
over
still-
200.
So it's possible. Anybody can win. Anybody can do it. That's our league. We're all amazing. But let's go into our picks for week 6. Real quick, though, before I start us off, I've picked all mine.
Yeah.
I will be reading about it, and you will be doing yours, I guess, semi-live on air.
Semi-live.
And we'll be racking it up. Before I start that, I do want to bring up how I am just tromping you right now.
It's bad.
I'm at 22 wins.
Ugh.
You're at 13 wins. We have 24 wins together,
Yeah.
choosing correctly.
You know.
And we've both lost 21 times. But we're still getting better at... Well, I'm getting better at choosing winners.
You really are. Yeah. The only game that I picked different from you... Oh, no, I'm sorry. So we both picked what 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 games that both won,
Right.
and then I picked only one more that won.
Yes, and that was
The Vegas
Liverpool. God
Liverpool.
Damn it. LV every time. I'm sorry,
God,
dude. Yeah, Las Vegas.
you know, once we start
Versus
doing
Kansas
a European
City.
league, aren't we getting like a 4-game European league into our NFL?
I get if once they keep going. If Las Vegas goes to Europe,
Liverpool.
I'm gonna lose my mind. I don't know what I'm gonna do with myself. But I picked Las Vegas over KC.
Yeah.
And god damn it, they should have won that game.
They should
They
have.
lost that game.
They should have.
And that would have been a sweep. That would have been the first sweep of the year.
Yeah.
I had it. I have some wild cards that I picked this week, so
Okay.
be prepared for that.
Okay, I'm excited for it.
So first off, it was Washington, Chicago. We both Chicago. We got that loss. Next up, we have San Francisco at Atlanta.
I am picking San Fran.
Real quick, it says at Atlanta at 8:30, 9:30.
Is this another
Is that a European game?
European?
Man, we're so
game?
unprepared for that.
Is that right?
It doesn't matter. I just wanted to bring that up. But San Fran
Over Atlanta.
versus Atlanta.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm taking
You picking
San
San Fran. I'm picking San Francisco as well.
Yeah, good defense. You don't have Cordell Patterson.
They're kind of on a roll. Their
Yeah.
worst game was against San Francisco's worst game was against the Bears during the Rain Bowl.
The rain game,
week
the Rain
one.
Bowl, yeah.
Yeah. So other than that, next up we have the New England Patriots at Cleveland.
I am going with Cleveland this game. I am going with Cleveland. I think they have a better quarterback. They have better running backs.
Fantastic. I love that because I too picked Cleveland.
Oh, did you pick Cleveland?
I did.
Okay.
But I kind of want to switch it now, but I'm not gonna.
I had a feeling
Because-
that you were going to pick New England because, last week you picked New England. They're a good football team, but they're...
I just have a feeling Cleveland's gonna figure this one out. They're gonna
Yeah.
figure out Bill Belichick, They're playing great football. Cleveland,
Yeah.
like when you watch the games and look at the stats, Cleveland is playing great football.
Yes.
So is New England.
Yeah.
But I think with the home field advantage,
Exactly.
I think this is gonna be the one. Damian Harris out. Ramondre Stevenson can't do it all.
No,
but he's
gonna
gonna
do a lot.
try.
Yeah, he's gonna do a
absolutely.
lot.
For fantasy. He's a must start.
Yeah.
But for that's gonna happen.
Yeah, the home game, yeah.
Yeah. Next up, Jets at Green Bay.
Again, I'm going home. I'm going Green Bay at home. Green Bay plays damn good at home.
I almost picked the Jets, but I picked Green Bay.
And I wouldn't fault you for picking the Jets, man. Last year, yeah. This year, I don't think I can.
They put up 40 points last week.
That's
I
crazy.
just, I know. I don't know
crazy.
if that's sustainable or fluky. I have no idea.
Yeah, and who do they even put it up against? 40 points, Jets. They against Miami. I mean, granted, Miami had their quarterbacks issues still.
There
but,
are woes. And it's hard to bet on Miami right now.
Yeah.
So we both picked the Jets.
Yes.
Yes, that week. But against Green Bay is going to figure it out. It's hard to bet against Aaron Rodgers, who is a titular MVP of the National Football League.
He's a very good quarterback.
So after that, we have Jacksonville at Indy.
This was tough for me. But eventually I went with Jacksonville just because of what's going on with the running backs in Indy this
Gotcha.
week.
You know, that's a great pick. I did pick Indy. Mm-hmm. The reason
You love Indy, dude. You
I
can't
do.
not pick Indy.
I'm all in on Indy, but I really considered Jacksonville
Yeah.
until their game against Houston.
Oh.
They just fell apart there. Not granted,
Yeah.
Houston's not a bad team. Houston's really good. But if
Yeah, they're good.
if Houston beat Jacksonville and Houston tied with Indy, you know.
Okay, you're doing a little transitive property. If A is greater than B and B is greater than C.
You got to sometimes, right?
Yeah, for sure.
We'll see and it's a home game at Indy, and they gotta blow up at some point.
I mean,
they're just like the Denver Broncos. They gotta blow up at some point.
They don't have to.
All right. Next up, tough one for me. The M&Ms.
Oh, really?
The M&Ms, Minnesota at Miami.
This was not tough. Minnesota. Just because who knows who the quarterback is? Is it going to be Teddy Bridgewater? Is it going to be...
No, it's the other guy.
Yeah. And
It's one of the three quarterbacks that Dan has.
And that man's name is...
Skittles.
Exactly.
Skittles.
Skittles McGee. Yeah, so I'm very nervous about what's going on there. I mean, that makes me nervous about having to play Jalen Waddle, you know?
Don't be nervous to play Jalen.
I mean, I'm going to. You have to. Which is crazy, right? Like, there's...
Crazy.
They're
They're
the
professional
guys,
football players, bro.
Right, but there's these guys, it's like, yeah, they've got issues, but they're a must start. It's like, okay, but you say that knowing that they could get 3 points.
Did they just say mustard or must start?
Okay, first of all.
Not you, I'm talking about the guys. Like, no, they're not mustards. I did say that a few times this game, this podcast.
This podcast, must starts. Yeah, I mean, he is.
Well, Ramondre Stevenson, yeah.
Yeah, he is. Oh, well, he definitely is. But yeah, I'm picking Minnesota.
I did as well pick Minnesota. Next up, Cincinnati at New Orleans. I had a tough time with this one. I think this is going to be the highest scoring game.
You do. I actually have not even really picked this one yet because I kind of went through before and kind of made picks. I still haven't made a decision on this one yet. And
here, how about this? We'll do it like last week because last week New Orleans and Seattle were playing, and I'm like, I don't know who to pick.
Right.
You pick one, or
Right.
you pick one, and you choose the other.
Right.
Sort of thing. So how about this?
Okay.
Because I am going to choose. Do you want to do it this way before I say
That's
who mine
fine.
is?
Go ahead. Yeah.
I'm going to choose Cincinnati.
I wanted to choose New Orleans.
Awesome,
I
because
really
so
did.
did I.
I really did.
My
Nice.
heart says New Orleans, but my gut says Cincinnati. for this one.
Perfect. Yeah, you got Ginger playing Ginger. Is that okay to say on a podcast? Can you say Ginger? It's not derogatory.
I really
right?
only think like 8 people are listening to this,
Right.
and
none of them are
None of them are
gingers.
ginger, so we're okay. we're fine until we hear otherwise.
Right.
But at some point, it is 2022.
Right. You probably had to stop saying it at some point.
Yeah,
But for now,
them redheaded beauties.
I mean, I guess.
There we
Yeah.
go.
You got
That-
Burrow
that
versus
doesn't
Dalton.
sound right
so.
either.
Yeah. So cool. I get New Orleans. You get Cincinnati. Very
Fantastic. Next up, we have Baltimore
Mm-hmm.
at the New York Giants.
cool. I am taking Baltimore.
Ooh, because I'm taking the Giants.
Are you
And
really?
the Giants are gonna take it. Dude, that's so fun.
Daniel Jones.
Yeah, DJ. Dude,
Okay.
wicka, throwing touchdowns.
He scored 2 touchdowns on us last week.
Yeah.
So, and by us,
us?
of course, I mean the Bears because I am an integral part of that franchise and organization.
Yeah. This is a tough one. This is my underdog pick. Maybe
Okay.
one of 2 that I have. Just a little foresight. But
Did you tell me this was going to be the highest scoring game?
no. I
Did you
said
mention that before we
Cincinnati,
started?
New Orleans.
Oh, okay. But before this, you thought it was going to be a high scoring game.
No, I never said that.
Are you sure? I
Yeah,
could've
it's going to
sworn
be
you
a
said-
low scoring game. It's going to be like 23-19 Giants.
Okay. All right. I don't
Quote
think
me
so,
on
but
that.
I think Baltimore's going to win.
Well, we'll see what happens. All right. Next up, Tampa Bay at the really hurting Pittsburgh.
Well, you just said it right there, man. Pittsburgh is not good. They're just
What
not
happened?
good this
Dude,
year.
they had the best defense week 1.
Yeah.
We're like, oh shit, here they come. Here
Uh-oh.
comes Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
And then what happened?
Poopy.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm taking Tampa Bay. Tom Brady's been having some good games.
Yeah.
Their
You can't
defense
count
is
out Tom
better
Brady.
than the Pittsburgh defense, I think,
Yeah.
now because Yeah, Pittsburgh is not doing great.
Yep. Next up, Carolina at the LA Rams.
You know, the
Tough
only
Tough one.
What's that?
This is a tough one.
Well, that's the thing is I don't want to pick the Rams, but the Panthers are a bad team this year, so I'm picking the Rams.
Cool. That's really great because Carolina is a bad team,
Yeah.
but so are the Rams.
Right. You would have asked me this matchup in week 1, I wouldn't even have to think about it, right? Like, of course it's the Rams.
I picked Carolina.
Did you?
Absolutely. New coach.
Yeah. Yeah, I forgot they got rid of Rule.
They got a new coach. There's going to be some weird stuff happening.
Okay.
New coach.
And you think that's going to translate into a win?
New coach, new quarterback.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's going to be the Christian McCaffrey show. He's going to run all over the Rams, man.
Okay. I mean, you can. You
Will.
can.
And he will. Yep.
Yeah.
Gotcha. This is going to be fun. I got some weird picks this week.
Okay.
Just because I'm right.
Because I'm right.
because it says right here on this paper that I'm right most of the time.
Right. I'm historically accurate when I make these predictions. So.
All right. After that, Arizona at Seattle.
Seattle. Geno Smith. Let's go.
Man, this was the toughest one for me.
You love Kyler Murray and your Cardinals, dude.
I do. But I think it is going to be Seattle as well.
It's a home game too.
This had potential for me to be the highest scoring game, and I think it's going to be a sling fest.
Yeah.
They're going to be slinging the ball, whipping it out there,
Slinging.
just like they're whipping butter. You know,
Not flinging. Not taking Flacco away from him.
No,
They're slinging.
They're slinging.
Yeah.
The Seattle Slingers.
Oh, nice. Nice, dude. I love it, dude. I love it.
Yeah, I can't take the flinger away from Flacco. That's his thing. It's minted, bro. It's minted. I'm gonna have to. Oh, shoot! If I say it on air, I'm gonna have to do it on air, like we're live. But
We act like the red stupid fucking box.
I got the person in the window saying, "Don't say it." No, I'm not gonna say.
Okay.
It. All right, never mind. All right, Buffalo at Kansas City. Next up.
So I am choosing Buffalo, because, and I'll tell you why.
I'd love to hear why.
Buffalo is the second highest scoring team behind Kansas City, right? They scored 152 to Kansas City's 159 over the past 5 weeks. However, Buffalo has only allowed 61 points against them. Kansas City has allowed 125 points against them. So they're allowing twice as many points against them as the Bills are. I think this game is going to come down to the defense because obviously both offenses are incredible. And I think the Bills' defense are going to... It is at home for the KC, though. I'm still picking Bills.
Everything you said is correct, and they're also down a cameraman.
What's that class of saying? Everything you say before the word "but" doesn't count.
No.
But
Ken, you missed my joke. You're so into yours.
oh no!
Because I said, but they're down a cameraman. You made me say it twice. I felt bad enough saying it the first time. God damn it. I hope the guy does well. He got shoved down. We covered that earlier. No. But Missouri's not ever going to be the same. But yes, I also picked Buffalo over Kansas City because of exactly what you just said.
I would like to say this would be the highest scoring game of the week, but I don't think it won't be because of the defenses.
Right. It's not going to be.
It should be because of on paper the two highest scoring teams on paper, but it's
they
not.
are. But I really think now that you said say but, I can hear us saying but all the time. Buffalo's D is gonna tear up Kansas City.
Yeah,
because you really, from what the papers only say is it's Travis Kelce. They shut down Travis Kelce,
and
I think Buffalo and CEH. He's having a great year.
Yeah,
coming off a bad sophomore year.
Coming off of
his sophomore year
Daskell's team.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
Oh, oof, Daskell. He'll never live that one down, bro. I saw you drop him at the beginning of even before the draft to get ready for the draft, and I'm like, oof.
No, I wouldn't have bought
but that's
it for
fine.
$35.
But, then I did my research, and I'm like, actually, Daskell might be onto something.
Yeah, well, clearly.
Because then Kansas City also picked up Ronald Jones, and
right.
I'm just like, whoa, this might be onto something.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, didn't turn out in his favor. and I'm not gonna talk shit about it because he's 4-1 and I'm not.
Right, exactly. Clearly, something's working out for
No,
him.
it
Yeah,
is.
exactly.
Next up, Dallas at Philly.
Man.
This is gonna be a fun game.
I did not. This was a hard one to pick.
This is gonna be a great primetime game.
Yeah, another primetime for Dallas. Classic.
Yes.
You know, tough because you look at Dallas' defense. It's like I don't know. I am picking Philadelphia though.
Yeah.
I am going with the better quarterback. I am going with home field advantage.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean that Dallas can't just stop Philadelphia like they've been doing to other teams.
Absolutely. And I think this is going to be a purely defensive game
Yeah.
because fantasy wise, Philly is the number 1 defense out there.
Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
As
you
of
picked
last
him up
week.
a couple weeks ago,
As of last week. This week might be different.
Yeah.
Or 2 weeks ago. We're in a weird podcast bubble
Right.
where we're talking about last week while we're in a current week.
Yeah.
But actually, I did pick Philly. Okay.
Okay,
Never
you
mind.
picked Philly?
I did pick Philly.
Right on.
For some reason, I thought I picked Dallas to do it, but I'm like, no, Philly's going undefeated on that one.
picking a lot of the
because
same
of
teams.
Cooper Rush. No, that's
Right,
fine.
right,
That's
right,
fine.
right.
Because then if we're wrong, we can,
Yeah. Both.
both
be
be wrong. Yeah, exactly. Last but not least, the Monday night game, Denver at the Chargers.
wrong. I'm picking the Chargers.
Good for you.
Are you picking Denver?
Absolutely. This is Denver's comeback show on primetime, Monday night. Russ Wilson went and got his shots in his shoulder. Old Rusty Bilston is going to be...
It's Broncos country. Let's ride. Have you seen all those stupid
Dude,
promos?
they're riding horses all the way to L.A.
Unbelievable. Oh, speaking of, I forgot to mention, you just mentioned about Russell Wilson getting his shots. I didn't realize, we briefly talked about Najee Harris, his Les Frank injury and stuff. Apparently today he had the steel plate taken out of his foot, his left foot. He had a steel plate in his foot the whole...
So it's been slowing him down the whole time.
I don't know. Based purely on physics, yes, that's point something killer.
Right. I used to do
grams,
Pinewood
milligrams.
Derbies. You had to put the weight on the car
Yeah.
to run faster downhill.
Yeah, exactly. Classic
Yeah.
Boy Scout stuff.
Exactly.
That just brought. I saw that was a couple out. A pretty recent news thing that just came up. By the
So
way,
he had a Lens Frank injury.
Yeah,
No one
Steve-
reported the surgery. Someone put plates in him to keep his toes from separating from his foot.
classic. Yeah, these welded them together.
And now he's been playing football on a steel foot.
seems
Are,
like
we, are
seems
they
like
bionic men or what?
yeah, it
What's
seems like
going
an
on?
unfair advantage to me. I don't know. By the way, Tyler Lockett is off the injury report.
Yes, I did see that.
That happened during our podcast.
Man, they could have just put magnets underneath the AstroTurf.
Just slid him around like those old school football games, those magnet games.
Underneath, just running it around.
I want to check that
That's
Steelers
fantastic.
Stadium now. That's awesome.
But anyways, this is Friday night.
Yeah.
What day is it?
Today is the
October 14th.
14th.
Friday night. Good luck, fantasy footballers out there.
Mm-hmm.
I hope you win. I hope we all win.
Well, not all of us. I hope 5 people lose.
Yes.
Oh, 5 people will lose, no matter what.
Well, 5 people will in our league, but I mean out there as a whole.
Yeah.
Who knows? There's an ether of people. I keep saying that. I don't know why.
Yeah. You love it.
I really need smudged.
Give me some smudging.
Somebody smudge me.
Oh, smudging. No, it's not Saturday.
But anyways, thank you all for listening.
Mm-hmm.
Have a great night, great day, great tomorrow. This is Adam, your commissioner for the dish, here with Evan Forbes, aka Kissing Cousins.
Yeah, we'll see you guys next week.